Hi, welcome to the channel. Today's video is titled Andrew Wilson destroys Gore for comparing Charlie Kirk to the Austrian painter. Alright, we're going to check this video together and I love your thoughts and your contribution in the comments below. Let's dive right in. This is a membership shout out. Thank you for being a member or signing up to become a member here on this channel. Your love and support is immensely appreciated. Thank you so much. And if you want to become a member or sign up to be a member here on this channel, click the link in the description box below. Once again, thank you so much for signing up to become a member here on this channel.
Yeah, I mean, I think that her and I seem to be very on the same page. There seemed to be a bit of a misconception that I was like celebrating his death by any means. So wanted to clarify that last show as well. I did say that I won't be making like any claims on my personal beliefs there.
You did, I think, try to compare him to Adolf
That
H.
was
Mustache Man?
no, in the moment as well, I think I was very clear that it wasn't a comparison, but rather a clarifying question for the argument you were making.
What was the clarifying question?
Well, I was trying to understand that, because the conversation ended up, I found the better wording, which was I was trying to understand if you think that there's a threshold for evil someone can hit in order to deserve some treatment like that.
An assassination.
Sure. And my argument was never whether or not Charlie Kirk had hit that threshold or not. I just wanted to understand if you thought that that existed.
But in the... Sorry, go ahead.
So the example that I used was the most extreme personification of evil I could find, not someone that I thought was similar to him.
Right, but in the context of having a conversation about Charlie Kirk, it seems like you were attempting to bolster your position by saying, well, but hold on, Brian, you perhaps would be in favor of assassination under X circumstance. In this case, you cited to Adolf Mustache Man.
Sure, yeah, but...
And so it seemed like you were doing a sort of, well, perhaps in our day and age, Charlie Kirk was, espousing, at least from your perspective, certain rhetoric that you might deem to be radical or deeply offensive or even harmful, and thus you can perhaps understand why someone might feel justified in the assassination of Charlie Kirk.
Yes.
Okay.
I'm not
do you feel like it was justified?
Do I personally believe it was justified?
Yeah, I'm not. Maybe you wouldn't do it, but you feel like you see why somebody would.
See, that's a complicated question. I personally am very like anti-violence in every regard. I don't think anyone should kill anyone. But like, it's like the same kind of question if you were to ask me like, someone with psychosis accidentally kill someone else in a psychotic episode. Like, do I understand why they did it? Yeah. Do I think that they were justified? No. Like, that's why I don't think that question really can be asked in this circumstance. Like, I guess to some extent I can get in his head. Like, if this guy told me explicitly what he was thinking in the moment, yeah, I mean, that was, if it's communicated, sure, I understand where his head was at. It doesn't matter if I think that he was like in the right or not. I just don't think people should be killing people.
For comparing Charlie Kirk. Okay. Because this is the thing with lots of those people's mindset. Comparing Charlie Kirk to, again, Mustache Man, right? And that is not just the only one that has been compared to like that. They compare Trump to Mustache Man. And lots of people seem to be like, or be celebrating about it, to say, oh, his assassination was justified. The exact same way lots of people were celebrating when Trump was almost assassinated, right? So what I'm trying to understand, like, what is wrong with the people in the left? What is wrong with liberals? What is wrong with them? What is wrong with their mindset? Because how do you compare somebody to this? How? And then you think, oh, whatever was done was justified, or there was a reason, or like it's okay. Because tell me, you want free speech to be applicable to you, but you don't want free speech to be applicable to somebody you disagree with. And just because you disagree with somebody, you automatically label the person to be something extreme, worse, and say, oh, he's pushing a certain rhetoric or narrative. just because you don't agree with. Yeah, you're not meant to 100% agree with somebody. That's why you've got what? Your brain. You've got what? To think for yourself. You don't have to 100% agree with somebody. So why do people just think that you can't agree to disagree? Or you have to 100% always agree with somebody with whatever they say and all that jazz, and label the person to be radical, name, extreme, call it whatever.
Okay. But do you understand? You see the motivation for it? Because you mentioned like somebody has a psychotic episode and they're just batshit crazy, right? But when we're talking about political violence, I think we're talking about something different, where the motivation is to either create suppress the individual in question. So if Charlie Kirk had massive levels of influence, so let's suppress that in a quite physically violent sort of way, but then also like these sort of cascading effects from there in terms of the chilling effect and the suppression of, oh, okay, if I'm a conservative, if I have like milk toast sort of mostly mainstream conservative opinion in the United States, this opens me up to killing, violence, assassination by
Exactly.
liberals, leftists, Democrats, so forth.
Yeah, well, I mean, again, I don't think anyone should be killing anyone. I don't think anyone should have killed Charlie Kirk. And I also don't necessarily, I think that, the motivations could be things that we don't necessarily understand.
Sure,
Like it doesn't have to be that they're trying to suppress them. It could have been,
Oh, sorry, go ahead.
I was going to give different examples, but I think we're on the same page.
Okay, and just then what about, I get that you think, hey, killing bad, violence bad. What about the rejoicing, though? Of course, some people might say, okay, the violence is terrible, but some people were rejoicing. They might not have ever themselves wanted to commit this crime, but they rejoiced in it. They were happy about it.
Reveled. They reveled in it.
They reveled. Do you think that that's justified?
I think that justified is a complicated word there. Do I think it's moral? No. But Can I understand the fact that people, genuinely, over all of his years on the internet, he, from my perspective, really, really was not, I think that he did promote harm for a number of people. I think that a number of people felt threatened by his beliefs. I think that a lot of his debates could fall under the category of harassment at a certain point.
What?
Harassment?
Yeah,
How?
I've seen, a lot of his debates in which he is telling people that they are making up their experiences because they don't align with his beliefs, or that...
How's that harassment, though?
Well, I've seen him say that people are making up hate crimes and that kind of thing doesn't actually happen to them. I just think that...
How's that harassment, though?
I think that it is... I suppose it wasn't the right word. My point is it's hateful. I do believe that it's hateful.
What specifically is hateful?
Trying to put down people, belittle them, accuse them of lying, all in order to prove a point on your end. I don't think it's good faith. I don't think that it's a good faith debater. I don't think his intention really was to hear perspectives. I think a lot of his debates, he was making a conscious effort to back people into a corner.
Some parts, well, hang on. I have to get a little pushback here, because some parts of a debate, the important parts, in fact, are to reduce a person's positions down, often to find out if they're lying. Because people lie during debates all the time.
Yeah.
And reducing their position will often expose that, right? So I'm not sure that having an assumption a person may be lying to you based on the details they're giving you that sounds suspect, and you begin to probe those details, and then you find inconsistencies and find out they're full of shit. I don't think there's anything wrong with that, or I don't see how that's hateful.
Well, I think there's a difference between probing for the sake of curiosity and then deeming something untrue without proper evidence. I have seen...
what was an example of where Charlie Kirk did that? Because he was a very good faith debater.
Exactly.
I think we can have different definitions of good faith. But, one specific thing that comes to mind was...
Let's start with this. What does good faith mean to you? I'll give you my definition real quick.
Sure.
No.
Let me say this. First of all, tell me you don't watch Charlie Kirk's video without telling me you don't watch Charlie Kirk's video. Or tell me you've never seen any of Charlie Kirk's video or debate without telling me you've never seen or watched any of Charlie Kirk's video or debate. Because this, or what you're saying, obviously, is proving that you've never watched or seen any of Charlie Kirk's video. Because if you've ever done it, you would notice that all the people, especially because in this context is probably him in schools, majority of the students that he has had interaction with or debated with, lots of them, they realize that they have been brainwashed. And guess what? They thanked him for sharing or stating facts that they've never seen or heard before. It's not forcing. I've never seen or watched any of his debates where he forced his ideology or forced his belief on somebody. I have never seen. I mean, I've watched a lot of Charlie Kirk's videos. So I will tell you that for free. And I don't watch, it's not about watching 10 seconds clip or 12 seconds clip or 20 seconds clip. It's about watching the entirety of the video, going or leading up to another. You don't have to be a soothsayer to understand that you have to watch the entire thing instead of 2 seconds or 8 seconds or 10 seconds because somebody is trying to. Have you ever heard of edit? Because somebody is trying to make or push a certain narrative. Guess what? They're going to look for something that he said that they disagree with and paint it to be what? A particular narrative. You don't need a soothsayer to tell you that Charlie Kirk is one of the good ones in terms of debate. In fact, talk about the debate narrative. Whenever I watch Charlie Kirk's videos or his debates and whatever, I always leave with a refreshed mind. And that's just the truth. I'm going to say that for free. Because there has never been a time. Sometimes I might just sit to watch the video and what comes to my head is, wow, this man is good. We're talking about his composure, the way he talks. He may not be 100% right. And there are some times that he may, in the videos, may not be right. And then guess what? If you even follow his videos or follow him on other socials, you see where he tried to update himself and say, oh, this, potentially he said this. This is what he said. Or this is what he meant. Just tell me you don't watch Charlie Kirk's videos or debates without telling me you don't. Charlie Kirk is one of the very good ones, very good debaters. Obviously, I would even say, if not the best, because you barely find people like him. He would go and talk like that with so much calmness and composure. Like, guy.
Okay, so to me, good faith is that you're advocating the positions you actually believe in and you're arguing those positions. That's good faith.
Sure.
And you're willing to also change your mind based on new evidence for your positions. I also think that, or concede points. I think that that's also maybe a part of good faith.
Yeah.
Right? So
I would agree with you on this definition, and I would probably add that if I would consider it bad faith if there's any intention to make someone look stupid at the expense of
I don't
truth.
see how that has anything to do with anything.
I do think that's something that is
like
quite
making
relevant in
somebody
Charlie
look
Kirk's
Stop controlling your
stupid,
emotions.
right? If they're engaging in a debate with you, is part of rhetoric. That goes all the way back to Socrates, Plato. Socrates was a blood sport debater, and so so was his. He had minions, and they would go out in the streets and debate with people, including the aristocracy, and they made him look really fucking stupid.
I think she means
and
like
then-
personal attacks. More
Yeah,
so.
my point. I said
Never.
A personal attack can actually be appropriate in a debate.
like an ad hominem kind of thing.
Well, that's not an ad hom. An ad hom's not actually a personal attack. An ad hom is when you make a personal attack instead of addressing the argument. So, like, let me give you an example. Let's say you're arguing with a woman, you're an aggressive debater, okay? And you say...
You would know. Sorry.
Yeah, and you say, you say, no, that's not true because of X, Y, and Z, you stupid bitch, right? That's not an ad hom. It's not. That's an insult.
I'd say it's a personal attack, and it's
Sure, it's a
not
personal
great.
attack,
It's
but
not good faith.
There's nothing. Well, there's nothing bad faith if you think they're a stupid bitch.
If you call someone a stupid bitch, like
You might think it's look, and this is the problem with people who don't really study debate. But I'll explain it to you, right? It is in fact the case that an ad hom is only when you're not addressing the argument and are deferring instead to a personal attack. So if I were to say, "Shut up, you stupid bitch! I don't care," that's a fucking ad hom, right? But if I said, "No, you're wrong because actually what's going on is A, B, C, and D, and this refutes your argument, you stupid bitch," that's not an ad hom. That's actually just part of rhetoric. That's the distinction between a classic fallacious move, which is an ad hominem, and a non-fallacious move, which is personal insults are part of rhetoric. So,
I mean, I still believe political discourse should be conducted with some level of maturity.
Totally understand.
And that's what I would...
Look, that's reasonable. It's reasonable for you to say, I want parameters around debate and things like that. I'm just letting you know that in the future, you could use that to your advantage. You could tell someone, hey, XYZ, blah, 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 refute your argument, you dick. You haven't actually done an ad hom.
You just don't like the concept of like respect that much, which is fine.
Wait, hold on.
What did I do that was disrespectful to you?
I didn't say you did anything disrespectful to me. You're like, oh, like, disrespectful jokes are totally cool. Like, oh, disrespect during a political debate.
Well, respect
totally
is
cool.
earned. It's not something that's given. It's earned. And the thing is I think that I have to earn it from people as much as they have to earn it from me. And I'm just trying to be completely open and honest with you in this conversation about what it is that I think and why it is that I think those things. So what about that is disrespectful?
No, that's not disrespectful.
Or even advocating for disrespect?
If you had called me like a stupid bitch at some point in this conversation so far, then I would find that disrespectful.
But he was making a distinction about
I wasn't calling you anything.
No, I'm not saying you.
Andrew wasn't making an advocation to call people a stupid bitch.
No. I was just giving an example.
He was saying if he did, that it wouldn't be in the example he gave where he said, well, here's my argument, XYZ, you stupid, biatch.
Yeah, oftentimes people will...
I wouldn't call that super good faith, that's all.
No, but he's not making an advocation that he would do that. He would say stupid bitch. He's saying if he did, it wouldn't be an ad hom.
Okay, right. Okay. As long as
it just distinguishes between the idea of rhetoric, which rhetoric is anything which is convincing. It's not logical argumentation.
I just think someone who operates in good faith doesn't use that sort of language.
Well, good faith, bad faith is not part of debate discourse at all, actually. That's a term that we like to use and throw around for people who are usually just saying shit we disagree with. Honestly, it doesn't mean much. That's why I just say in my terms, like, I think a person I'm arguing with who's good faith is just actually advocating what they believe. For the most part, that's enough for me.
That's an important part of it.
Because most of the time people will switch like fucking chameleons what they think based on who they're arguing and what it is that they're arguing about. And I think that really is what's encapsulating bad faith more than anything. Like, I would rather have a person going, you're a fucking piece of shit and a this and a that, as long as I knew what they actually thought, because then I can argue with you. But I can't argue with you if you're a fucking rally and a snake and you just constantly switch positions in the middle of a debate. And then I'm like,
yeah,
well, I can't pin down anything that you believe. So I really think good faith is really that.
I agree with that
Claim
part.
donated $299.
Thank you, Claim.
You have a table full of whores.
That's not true.
Just assume
That's not true.
Paid for their time. How much does Cuban Bruce Lee make?
Oh my God.
The girl he pretended.
Yeah, I mean, I think that...
Okay. You don't need a soothsayer to tell you when people haven't watched any of Charlie Kirk's videos or debates so far, because from the way they talk or the way they share some particular arguments and stuff, then you understand or you know that they haven't ever seen any of Charlie Kirk's videos, obviously. But for you to say that what he's saying is pushing hate crime or pushing hate, rather, it goes to tell you that, okay, you just checked or listened from somebody else and you can't run with it to say, yes, oh, this person said this, I cannot agree with this, you don't agree with this, agree or whatever. Because no, the essence of a debate, I mean, I've watched a couple of debates where people debate. The essence is not to force anybody's thought on the other person. And obviously, if you've ever had a debate before, even in school or even as a child, sometimes you look stupid. because you don't know well enough, or you're not well at the conversant or educated enough on that topic. You may look stupid. But again, the thing is, with leftists, they don't know how to separate their emotions from an argument. Logically, you understand that eh, you can't win, or you're not going to win, obviously, or there is nobody that's going to win. What's going to save you is, or what's going to be best for you is, okay, you don't know enough. Go read up to understand this so that your next debate with somebody, you be well read or well informed regarding it. The fact that these leftists constantly try to attach emotions to this, that he is spreading hate. How? How? How is he spreading hate? But again, you don't agree with somebody, you don't like what the person has said, label the person to be something. That's the only way you know how to win the argument. And obviously, I think Andrew is also drawing up onto something. The way most leftists they do the argument, because it result, or potentially when they don't win an argument, it usually results to insult and stuff, or calling somebody names and all that. Mm, look in the mirror. Anyways, let me know what your thoughts are in the comments below. So far, so good. There is no justifiable reason for anybody to unalive Charlie Kirk or to even rejoice about it. It makes no sense. Or to come to say, oh, this, I don't agree with this person, then this person is saying, what is this person is saying is hateful. Just because you don't agree with the person, all you need to do is grow up. If you're that type of person who just say, oh, this person is saying this thing because I don't like it, the person is hateful, or the person is pushing a certain rhetoric or narrative or whatever, and you say, oh, there should be a justifiable reason to end the person's rights to freedom of speech, grow up. That's just the truth. Let me know what your thoughts are in the comments below. Make sure to like, comment, share, subscribe, and all that stuff. And until next time, see you in the next video. This is a member shout out. Thank you so much for being a member or signing up to become a member here on this channel. Your love and support is immensely appreciated. And if you want to be a member here on this channel or sign up to become a member, click the link in the description. Click the link in the description box below and sign up to become a member on this channel. Thank you once again for signing up or to become a member or for being a member. Much appreciated. Thank you so much.